Hello everybody and welcome back to Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British show for all your news, reviews and exclusive interviews. My name is Kevin Halden. Yes, it has been a minute. I have been pretty damn ill. I've been laid up in bed with a bit of the plague for about 6-7 days now, and it was horrible. But luckily I've passed it on to my child, so now it's hers to deal with. But one of the positives of that is that I was able to get my broadband sorted. So do go over to the Twitch, because I'm going to be streaming on Twitch as well every now and then. This is my review of the movie Headcount, because as you know, here at Nerdly, we like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget. From those massive big spectacles that are winning Oscars left, right and center to the lower budget stuff where really you should be seeing it, because sometimes you don't need all the bells and whistles, you don't need all the explosions, you just need a damn good story with a damn good cast, really well made. And that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be dealing with one of those types of movies. Please do hit that subscribe, ding that notification bell, and all of that good stuff. It lets people know where we are, who we are, and how they can find us.
They've got my gun. What's in the gun? How many bullets are left in this thing? Think.
Your little Houdini stunt on the chain gang cost me your promotion.
You ran out of jail so you could mow.
Mowing's nice.
And don't try to take off now. We both know I got faster reflexes than you can.
But it has been a minute, so I'm going to remind everybody how this works. If you're new here, or if you've forgotten how we do it, this is how it goes. I am going to talk about the plot of this movie with as few spoilers as humanly possible. I do sometimes delve into that area, but there will be a little bit of a warning. Then I'll move into the cast and the crew of this movie before moving into thoughts on what I did and what I didn't really like about the film. And then I'll get into my final Nerdly Out Loud rating, not the rating of Nerdly as a whole. Please do head over to the website, nerdly.co.uk. Find it over there. We've got loads of great guys doing loads of awesome reviews. We do cross over and we do cover a lot of different films that each other have covered. That's all good stuff because it gives you more opinions on whether you should be checking this out. And this is one of those movies that I feel you should. So go over there. Headshot is the story of Kat. We meet Kat at a pretty awful predicament, a pretty sticky situation in his life. He has kind of just come to at the start of the movie. He has a gun to the back of his head, not really entirely remembering exactly why he's there, how he got there, all that good stuff. So he's going to have to piece together what is going on. But what he instantly realizes is that the perpetrator, or the guy who has the gun to his head, is using his gun, which means it's one of those old style 6-shooters, which means it's got 6 bullets in it, and he is going to track back in his memory how bullets have been used, where the gun's been, and he's going to try and remember just how many bullets are left in this gun. Really neat little concept that I was instantly kind of hooked in. Like, it comes up on the screen on like the left or right hand side of the screen. It's like the revolver of the gun, and it's got 6543. It's him tracking his footsteps and what happened. And where it all starts is that Kat is kind of part of this chain gang, one of those old school like or deep south like prison things where he's like at the side of the road, they're digging up a ditch or something like that. One of the prisoners needs to go for a pee. A massive big bear mauls that prisoner, kills that prisoner, and starts trying to eat all the other prisoners. Kat manages to escape, and Kat manages to get a gun, get a police car, and off he goes. And that's how it all begins for Kat. That's how the story begins. He's now on the run, an escaped convict. He has to hook up with ex-gangsters that he knows and all that good stuff. And as he's doing this, we're going to find out exactly how he ended up in prison, how he ended up in this situation, why people might be after him, and what he's going to do to get out of this situation, because he wants to be free of this life. Of course, every movie does need the heel, the antagonist, the person that's going to go against our protagonist. And in this movie, we have Officer Sawyer. And Officer Sawyer is a little bit of a down on his luck rookie cop who's kind of not really made it to the level he wants to be at. And he sees a situation here where he's like, you know what? I can take this convict who's escaped and I can kind of use him to my benefit. And that's what he's going to do. So they end up doing sort of like, it's not a buddy-buddy sort of relationship, but it kind of is. They're kind of using each other a little bit to get to where they need to be. Both characters, excellent characters, very flawed characters, and the actors we will talk about in a second because both are very good. Starting up with our main guy, Kat, played by Aaron Jakubenko. I've probably completely butchered that. I feel like I maybe have. This is an actor that I'm not 100% aware of. I've not really seen a lot that this guy's done. If anything, in fact, I will go back and try and check things out. I don't like to be swayed by other things, so I try not to check things out. He's doing most of the heavy lifting. He's got scenes where he doesn't need to do a lot of talking, scenes where he does need to do a lot of talking, and he's great at both. Like, he is able to convey expression with his face that you really get an idea of who he is. You know, like the old school, like original golden age actors, he has a sense of that to him. Like, this is one of those movies that not everybody's going to see, but it's out there, and people that do see it will really get a grip of who this actor is, who this character is, because that's how he plays it. The strong sort of role that is a little bit flawed, but we want him to come good in the end. Juxtapose that with Ryan Kwanten, who I do know. He played Jason Stackhouse in True Blood, an actor that I was massively, like just blown away when I realized it was Vinny from Home and Away. That just blew my mind because he was like a tubby guy back then, but now Ryan Kwanten is like this absolute jacked, muscle-bound dude. And he is in a lot of films right now that are kind of flying under the radar, but his performances are usually the shining light of those movies. He's a fantastic actor that I really wish we could push a little bit harder and get him a little bit higher. But to be honest, where he is right now, he can kind of lend himself to pretty much anything. So I'm always happy to see. I want to talk about directors Ben and Jacob Burghart, because, or as they are affectionately known, the Burghart brothers. I always wonder how that kind of dynamic works with like dueling directors, but at the same time, when it's your brother, like surely that's just like, nah, dude, you ain't taking my spotlight. But anyway, I digress. But I do want to talk about them. I believe this is their first proper feature film, and it is based on an extension of a short movie that they made, also called Headcount. I've not seen the short movie, but I'm so glad that this is what they chose to do as their first feature. They obviously made that short, realized they had a little bit of lightning in the bottle, because that's exactly what they have. I genuinely thought this idea, this concept, didn't need to be this huge, massive, elaborate affair. You were able to sort of do that memento thing where you're given little fragments of what's going on. How many bullets has he shot now? How many bullets has he got left? Are we going to find out? Is he going to get there? And then little bits and pieces on the way that really kind of like just get you so anxious and tense about what's coming. This is one of my favorite concepts. And I'm not going to say it's 100% original because we have seen this kind of thing before. I just haven't seen it done like this before. I'd really like to see what these guys do next. I really want to dive into what these guys have going on, like on the side, like pick their brains a little bit, because this for me was a really, really, really tight, nice story that could have easily been, a completely linear thing. It could have easily been just that. It didn't really need to be a flashback or whatnot, but the way they did it adds a little bit of flash, adds a little bit of polish. They have a fantastic cinematographer in there because this film looks nice. The sound is fantastic. The script is really well written. So yeah, I just wanted to shout out the directors. And what I didn't like, I love the idea of the transitions where the revolver comes up on the side and it does all that. I thought that was a really cool effect. It is kind of like the first time it happens, you're kind of like, it's a bit cheesy. But as it goes on, you're like, nah, actually, that's pretty solid. There's some really cool edits in here that like just really sort of take you into a space. And by that, I mean, there's one particular scene where he goes to do a house over, and he's been asked to go and take this money from behind a picture, and he gets in there and there's like 100 pictures on the wall. It's a really simple, really clean, and really effective sort of scene. Not a lot going on. It's pretty much a lot of dialogue, but there's moments when the characters have completely walked out of shot, or a character's completely walked out of shot, and I'm still invested in what that guy's doing when he goes out of there because of the way it's framed, because it's the way it's edited together, because of the tension in the scene with Kat. It's a great little scene that almost serves as a centerpiece for the movie. And it's strange because I'm not entirely sure that scene was supposed to be like the thing that I remembered the most. Like, I don't know if it was supposed to be that pivotal, but to me, there was so much going on there that it showed a lot about what these guys were about. There's not a lot that I didn't like, because I do feel like this has been cast really well. Is it a perfect movie? No, it's not really. There are a couple of musical moments or score moments where I'm kind of just sat there thinking, that's maybe jarring me out a little bit. But it's a small thing. I really wanted to know more about what happened with the bear, because the bear was like mauling prisoners left, right, and center. So I kind of wanted to like get more of that. But at the same time, I quite like it. You know, you ever see that film Punch Drunk Love with Adam Sandler, where at the start he's like standing out on the curb and then a car just flips over and it rolls past him like that, and then you don't hear anything else about it for the whole entire movie. But I was kind of sitting there for the first 40-50 minutes of that movie thinking, what the hell was that about? I'm okay with stuff like that. But I kind of wanted to know about the bear. Like, did we catch the bear? Dude, Burghart brothers, did we catch the bear? Did they get it? You know? Or did it just keep eating prisoners? Because that's your second movie. Cocaine Bear was huge. So, like, just make, like, Prisoner Bear. Like, just go for it. Put a jumpsuit on him. It's all... I'm rambling. I am absolutely rambling. So, yes, let me jump into my final thoughts on this movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really did. I was in the mood for a movie like this, where it's all about the story. It's all about the cast. It's all about dialogue. We're going to slow burn our way to the end. We're going to jump back and be fed, drip fed little bits and pieces. And the whole time you have this thing about he has the gun to the back of his head. Would you just remember how many friggin' bullets are in this thing? Because I need you to remember that so we can get out of this situation. And obviously we're going to find out as we go. I really enjoyed it. I can't really say a lot of bad things about it, but I'm not going to slap a 5 out of 5 on this movie, because there is some work to be done here. And the Burghart brothers, I think, are onto something. Like, they've definitely got a style that I'm into. They've definitely got a vibe that I'm all about. Like, they write dialogue really well to the point that I want to hear more of it. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to sit on a 4 out of 5 for the movie head count. And I really hope people do run out, check this out. If you see it streaming, whatever, if you see it online, if you see it in the stores, wherever you find it, do check out the movie Head Count by the Burghart brothers. I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you do, hit me in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the flick. It's definitely one that you have to check out and just see for yourself. Aaron Jakubenko, you've done a fantastic job. Ryan Kwanten, just keep smashing it. You're always killing it, and I'm always there for it, so it's great to see. But for now, I'm just rambling now, so I'm giving this movie a 4 out of 5. But remember, again, that is just the Nerdly Out Loud rating. You can go over to nerdly.co.uk on the interwebs and see other reviews all over the place. Like I say, if you do watch the movie, hit me in the comments. Let me know what you thought. That's where the discussion can continue, and that's what I like to see. I like to see what people think of these movies, because you don't always know. So please do check all of that good stuff out. This has been Nerdly Out Loud. My name is Kevin Halden, and this is the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favorite British home for all of your news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. Hit that bell, hit that subscribe, and if you don't want to do any of that, just tell a friend, tell someone, tell your enemies, tell someone who we are, where we are, and how to find us.